playing with miso in sweet applications. I think that would be a perfect match. Hi, I'm Nick Weber, chef owner of Popular Modern Bistro, and today we'll be making classic French onion soup with a little twist of our own, which includes miso paste. This is a very classic French bistro dish, sells really well at the restaurant, and it's a good homey comfort food to make at home. So for our ingredients, we have yellow sweet onion sliced. These onions have a little bit higher sugar content, so they give us a nice caramelized onion and sweetness to our soup. We have our butter, very important to French cooking, thyme and bay leaf. Comte cheese, this is also you can use Swiss or Gruyere cheese. Our crostini, salt and pepper, Maderia wine, roasted chicken stock, and then what makes ours very unique is our miso paste we add to it to give it a nice deep rich umami flavor. So for the first step we're going to add our butter. When that butter is melting, we're going to add our bay leaves and thyme. So we're going to let that thyme and bay leaf really sweat in that melted butter. And then when that's melting, we can add a little bit of salt now. Let's say like a tablespoon's worth. And then about a teaspoon of black pepper. And this is gonna help with the meatiness of the broth of the stock. Okay, so this butter's melting away. We have our aromatics infusing that butter with the thyme and bay leaf flavor. Now that we have a nice melted butter, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions. We're gonna put all 5 pounds of onions in here. And then here comes the most important step to making the French onion soup is patience. We want to make sure we really cook these onions down and get the most caramelization to them. So as you can see, we're starting to get some brown color on our onions here. All right, so now we got the nice caramelization of our onions, nice and brown. Sugars have done their work in the onions. And now we add our miso, which makes this unique to Populaire. So we're gonna add a Marukome Miso, 1/4 cup of miso, roughly. 4 ounces. We're gonna let it cook with the onions, really caramelize the miso now, get a deeper miso flavor by cooking it more. And then we just gotta be careful to keep stirring it once in a while, that way the miso doesn't burn on top of the pan. It's an important part of the step of the soup itself to let that miso caramelize. Because like I said, we use a duck stock opposed to a beef stock. So when we caramelize it, it gives us a deeper, richer, meatier flavor from the miso opposed to veal bones. All right, for the next step, we're gonna add our Maderia wine. As you can see, when I pull the onions back, we don't see wine pouring forward anymore. So that means it's been cooked out. So give a couple more stirs. And then we're gonna add our roasted stock to this now. So we started with about 3 quarts of stock there, and we'll see how much we have. We want this to be brothy, but with still a lot of onions floating inside of it. We could probably use a little bit more stock. It's a lot of onion there. About another quart in there. So it's about 1 gallon of stock we've added. Now we're gonna let that come to a simmer. That way all the flavors come together, the miso, the Madeira wine, and the caramelized onions. Let's say a tablespoon of pepper. All right, so now that we have been simmering away for about 15 minutes, all those flavors are coming together, the miso, the sweet onions, the broth, and the salt and pepper and all the herbs. We'll give it one last taste. I think we're ready to go into our soup bowls. We wanna make sure we get, some good amount of onions in there and broth. And this is one of those dishes too, where it's okay to let the broth and the onion kind of come off the bowl. Because when we put it in the oven, it gets nice and caramelized and gives us a beautiful presentation. We're gonna go ahead and grate our cheese. Again, this is a Comte cheese. You can also use Gruyere or Swiss cheese, like I said earlier. And so we're gonna add our crostini to the top. And then our cheese over. So now we're gonna put this oven for about 5 minutes so we get that cheese all bubbly and caramelized. And we'll pull it out in 5 minutes. So we're gonna pull it out. So we're gonna go ahead and hit that with a torch and really caramelize the cheese on top. All right, so now the soup's out of the oven, we're gonna torch the cheese on top. Get that cheese nice and golden brown. And now we have those little burnt crispy pieces on top of the soup, and it's ready to eat. And pull it off, and there you have it, your French onion soup with miso, caramelized cheese, and crostini. I decided to add miso to the onion soup. My thought process was we didn't make veal stock here at the restaurant, and classically this soup has veal stock in it. We sell a lot of duck here, so I make a lot of duck stock. So by enriching it with miso, it gives us that deeper flavor, and then it adds umami to a dish. So it's a very familiar dish, but people don't know why it's a little different. But they enjoy it just as much because that umami with every bite just makes it just as enjoyable. I'm really starting to experiment with miso in sweet applications. So for like cookies and brownies, I love to play with sweet and salty, and then the umami as well. I think that would be a perfect match.